Okay, thank you very much. Thanks again for tuning in to these Rubik's Cube solves. And the process that we're going to talk about right now is about filling in the edges. So we want to match up the correct edges for this. And as I said before in the previous video for the corners, step one for the Dedmore method is that really, once you get a hang of it, you can intermingle the first three steps, which would be to first solve the corners, fill the edges, and then fill in the second layer. And believe it or not, you can actually do those three interchangeably. And when it arises, you can just place them in any of those three ways. But I recommend that you focus on doing the corners first, and then doing the centers. The edges, and then do the second layer. And once you get the hang of that, then you can do it interchangeably. Okay, so now we're going to do the edges. So as we're looking for pieces, remember that edges have two tiles, so we want to make sure that there's the two colors that we need. So we got one here that's blue, and it's an edge. And it's also black, so this is the correct one, and we want it to come up here. Okay, so for this one, for edges, we have five possibilities, and those five possibilities start with, you got the first one, which is this one is 1. This would be 1. So if my blue and black was here and the blue was here, this would be 1. And if the blue tile was here, then it would be 2, algorithm 2, for the filling in the edges. And then here it shifts a little bit from the corners. It's actually going to be 3. From the other video that I had. So 3 would be over on the right side, and then 4 would be right here. And then if my blue was here instead of, obviously if it was there, it would be perfect. So if it was blue was here, then this would be 5. So those are the algorithms that we would use for this. Now, something that I didn't mention in the introductory video, because I talked about right, and I talked about left, and I talked about down, and I talked about up or top, but I didn't talk about the middles. The middle orientation is I think depends on you. So you might go on a certain site. If you go on the VCube site, they just use arrows, so they don't use algorithms. But I find that that's really hard to commit to memory. Some people don't, so that's great. Good on you if you can do it without having without having any difficulty. I have difficulty, so I want mnemonic devices. I want letters to deal with, so I translate anything that I come across that's in arrows to some kind of lettering, which is very popular. Middle is strange, because which direction is the middle? And since now we are dealing with middles here, because I have edges here, then if it's down here, then I'm going to deal with middle movement that's going to be side to side. And if I have one here, a blue tile here or here, or a blue up here, I'm going to deal with this kind of movement. Okay, so which direction is which? Well, for my videos, I'm going to use the same direction as the R. Reason why is because if you've noticed so far with the corners, the previous video, we didn't say anything about L, and we didn't say anything about T. So the two movements that I want to follow are D and DI, and R and RI. So that's what I'm going to use for my middle. So M would be like so, and MI, M prime, would be like so, because it's following the same direction as right, and RI. So these are the first directions that you're going to be learning, or as you learn how to solve the cube with the corners, is this. So the L's don't show up and the T's don't, and the ups don't show up until later. So since they don't show up right now, let's just follow the same direction as the ones that we're getting used to, which is right and down. So we're going to do M vertical like this. Then I'll know it's vertical because I'll have a blue tile either here, here, or here. So I'll be like, oh, so if it says M, then I go that way. And if it says MI or M prime, I'm going to go this way. And then if I have a blue piece here and it says M prime, or M, then it's going to go this way. And it's going to go M, if it's MI, it's going to go that way, just like the D would. It would be D normal and then DI. So when I'm trying to figure out about the middle, just focus on this part right here. So this movement, then that movement. And some people will actually move both cubes when they're trying to move something. They'll move it and then they'll move this back. So if they're trying to do M, they might move this and then move this one back, like they just moved this one. And, you know, and it's just a convenience. I like to just do the middle so as to not confuse myself. Okay, so as I said before, M, MI, and then you have also the horizontal one, M and MI. Okay, so now that we have that, let's look at what we have. So as I mentioned before, we have one algorithm, algorithm 1, algorithm 2, algorithm 3, algorithm 4, algorithm 5, depending on where the blue is. And of course, it is algorithm 4. Okay, and I have a mnemonic device for that, and it's called MaFiMi MiF. Ma, which is, oh wait a minute, there's an A. Where did the A come from? Oh, that's just M normal, and it's horizontal, so it's this way. Ma, and then front, MaF, MaFiMi, so it's not regular F, it's Fi, MaFi. And then we have MaFiMi, M-I. MaFiMi. And then another M-I, M-I again. And then F. And I could have just said M-I too if I wanted to. If I was giving instructions, I could just say MI2. I just choose a mnemonic device to kind of figure it out. Notice that I moved this over here where I have it. Now I can just shift it back. So if I'm looking for a piece, notice I can always go hunting for it and find a blue and black. I don't see or a blue or anything blue, and I don't have any more like that. So, but I do have a couple other pieces already in place. Let's see how they work. So I have the black here, I got the orange there, and so I got actually a few already in place. This one though is in the wrong place, and so this one, it's not a really algorithm to get rid of it. I can get rid of it if I want to, or I can just replace it. So I can bring this down if I want to, or I can look for the right piece, and it's right here. So when I do the algorithm, what it will do is it will take this and put it there, okay, and then remove it somewhere and move it somewhere else. So here we go. Where is it? It's algorithm 1, and then this would be algorithm 2. So this one, and I will put these in the description. This is MiDi DiM. So it'd be MI, so that would be towards me, MiDi, MiDi, and when I say D, I'm actually, I call it MiDi DiM, but it should be more like MiDi DiM, because I'm thinking of Latin a little bit, so it has the letter I. I'm thinking MiDi. I'm thinking the I's or the E's. Sorry, a little bit of Spanish influence there. So we have, so then let me reorient myself here. So I would go MiDi, and then another DI, D, DIM, you know, and then the M, and then I push it up. So you could call it MiDi DiM, and you could add an E there, and it wouldn't matter. So whatever works for you. I will have the placement up so that you can see it, and you know, and maybe a small explanation of the letters that I added for mnemonic as mnemonic devices. Okay, so now if you look, we have one more we need to solve, and it's down here. And again, like I said before, when you're doing this, you're going to have some repeats, and you're going to have some that never show up. Okay, so really quickly, let's go ahead and solve that last one, which we said is just the same as the other one. So here we go. This would be MiDi DiM again. So MiDi DiM. And we're done with this, with the edges. Thank you again for watching this video.